The trailers for the Marvel Cinematic Universe get every comic book fan buzzing, not just for the movies themselves, but for specific moments. But there are times where the MCU don't pan out the way we expected. Sometimes the trailer scene which we were most excited about is absent from the movie. There are all sorts of reasons why this can happen. More often than not, the director realised during post-production that the story works better without the scene in question. And so, with that in mind then, I'm Ellie with Whatculture here with the 10 best MCU scenes only in trailers. Number 10. The Norn in Avengers Age of Ultron. Although the Avengers Age of Ultron trailer got viewers hyped, it also left a lot of people bewildered. Even though the promotion showed Hulk ransacking a city and our heroes battling Ultron drones, the one shot that got everyone talking was of a bald woman looming inside a cave. Despite endless speculation, nobody had a clue who she was or how she would factor into the story. And if you thought watching the movie would clarify the situation, then guess again. To everyone's surprise, the mysterious lady wasn't in Age of Ultron. Because she appears in front of the same pool Thor uses for his vision, some suspected she was an Asgardian. This hypothesis is true, kind of. At one point, the god of thunder was meant to seek counsel from an Asgardian soothsayer called the Norn. The Norn would possess Thor's body after he stepped into the pool, allowing him to make sense of his vision. When this setup didn't work, the director simplified the script, removing the Norn altogether. Even though the character was superfluous, it would have been cool to see Thor interacting with the Norn, considering how little the Asgardian superhero features in the movie. Number 9. Laughing at Ikaris in Eternals. The MCU has been immortalized for its epic battles, iconic characters, and creative action. Of course, every entry in the franchise is also filled with hilarious quips and infectious banter. Even though Eternals has a more somber tone than what we're accustomed to, there's a bit of comedy sprinkled throughout, most notably during the dinner sequence. While the Eternals are catching up, Kingo casually mentions the Avengers. When Sprite wonders aloud who should be the new leader of Earth's mightiest heroes, Ikaris suggests himself, saying he would be good at that. Gilgamesh puts Ikaris in his place, pointing out that Ajax didn't even choose you to lead us. It's a nice back and forth, but that's not how this conversation plays out in the trailer. When Ikaris says he could be the new Avengers leader, his team erupts into laughter. Even though Kingo supports him in the film during this scene, he cannot contain his laughter in the trailer when Ikaris makes this suggestion. Number 8. Topless Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy. Upon rewatching the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, you'll probably notice a few scenes and lines that never made it into the finished film. John C. Reilly's title drop is never mentioned. Star-Lord's line about leaving Earth as a child was also taken out. And Drax was inserted in the lineup sequence to hide the fact that he doesn't team up with the group until later. Another shot that many viewers vividly remember was of Gamora staring at someone behind her after she removes her top. It's not certain what's happening in the scene, but the angle implies that someone, probably Peter Quill, entered Gamora's room while she was changing. Even though it's common knowledge that not every shot in the trailer is going to make it into the finished film, everyone thought this clip would feature. Not only does Gamora and Peter serve as the central love interest in the Guardians of the Galaxy saga, this shot appeared in 2 different trailers. But when fans finally got to watch Guardians of the Galaxy, the scene of Gamora getting her kit off was nowhere to be seen. Number 7. Scott hates the name in Ant-Man. In Ant-Man, shrink tech inventor Hank Pym learns his former apprentice Darren Cross is attempting to hijack his technology. Because Pym is too old to use his shrinking suit, he encourages a thief called Scott Lang to break into Cross's facility and destroy his work. When Scott refuses, Pym gives him a rousing monologue, concluding with the words, "I need you to be the Ant-Man." The scene then cuts to Scott Lang wearing the Ant-Man outfit for the first time. But in the trailer, this scene ends quite differently. After Pym makes his plea, Scott asks, is it too late to change the name? Because of how ridiculous the film's premise and title is, it was funny to hear this line, proving Marvel has no qualms with poking fun at itself. But because Pym's speech is so touching, having this quip removed was probably the right move. Making a silly joke immediately after Pym discusses his life's work while on the verge of tears would have undercut the scene's dramatic tone. Number 6. Wong's warning in Spider-Man No Way Home. There are a couple of obvious shots in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer that were ultimately cut or altered. To keep the 2 extra Spider-Men's appearance a surprise, which didn't work, they were edited out of certain shots in the teaser. But another moment that didn't make it into the movie involves Wong. In the trailer, he orders Stephen Strange not to cast the memory spell, insisting it's too dangerous. After the goatee-sporting magician seemingly agrees with Wong's terms, he reassures Peter Parker by giving him a subtle wink. But in No Way Home, the scene is a different scene. While Strange and Spidey are discussing the memory spell, Wong tells them to leave him out of it before exiting through a portal. He gives no orders. Strange gives no false promise, and most importantly, there's no wink. Seeing Strange blatantly defy Wong's orders and misuse his magic would have been more interesting, since it could have caused a conflict between the 2 sorcerers, but for whatever reason, this dialogue was changed. Number 5. Battling a crime syndicate in Spider-Man Far From Home. The trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home has a few shots of the web-slinger easily taking down a group of gun-toting criminals in a fancy restaurant. After the cops arrive, one of them asks the wall crawler if he's going to be the next Iron Man. Our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man rejects this notion, saying he's too busy doing your job. Even though the banter is great and the restaurant brawl looks cool, it was left on the cutting room floor. Originally, this fight was meant to be a part of the odd jobs Peter Parker must be doing before his school trip to Europe. During this montage, Peter purchases a headphone adapter, a travel plug, sells all his toys except Lobot because come on, it's Lobot, and foils a syndicate going on a crime spree. However, the action and CGI during this scrap is a little janky, suggesting director John Watts cut the scene before it was completed. The entire sequence may not add anything to the plot, but Watts thought it was entertaining enough to include as a short film on the Blu-ray. Number 4. The Mandarin in Iron Man 3. To avoid spoilers, Marvel has been exceptionally sneaky at hiding cameos and plot points before one of their new projects drops. Julia Louis-Dreyfus wore a cloak in between filming for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier to hide her inclusion in the production. Andrew Garfield flat out lied about being in Spider-Man No Way Home. At this point, we've all gotten a little wise at MCU's deceptions. No matter what Marvel trailers reveal, fans always suspect the studio is deliberately trying to mislead us. But the first time the franchise completely pulled the wool over our eyes was in Iron Man 3. Even though the Mandarin was believed to be the threequel's main villain, he is revealed to be a patsy for the real antagonist Aldrich Killian. Nobody saw this twist coming, since the Mandarin was referenced in every promo, poster, interview and teaser. We see many clips that never appear outside this teaser, including the Mandarin being surrounded by his followers, opening a shroud, revealing a bastardized tattoo of Captain America's shield, and offering Tony Stark a meaningful death. Number 3. Therapy in The Incredible Hulk. The MCU's second outing, The Incredible Hulk, had a lot of missed opportunities. When Dr. Leonard Samson appears as Betty Ross's boyfriend, fans were thrilled since the character has served as a superpowered ally and antagonist to the Hulk in the comics for decades. Sadly, the two never speak to each other in the movie. However, the pair were meant to have a meeting, which can be glimpsed at in the trailer. In a deleted scene, Samson uses his psychiatry training to try and understand Bruce better. Bruce cryptically assures him that his anger issue is something Leonard has never handled. Although the duo don't come to blows like their comic book counterparts, their heartfelt discussion gives us a lot of insight into Betty's relationship with Leonard and how she perceives Bruce. Even though the actor portraying Leonard, a pre-famed Ty Burrell, is better known for his comedic roles, he demonstrates his talent here for drama as he drops truth bombs on Bruce. Despite the fact it's among the better scenes in The Incredible Hulk, it was dropped, leaving Samson less than a minute of screen time. Number 2. Things just got out of hand in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Since the title was announced for Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, fans have speculated for years on which iconic superheroes or supervillains would make an appearance. And when the trailer revealed the Illuminati played a pivotal role in the plot, viewers worked themselves into a frenzy trying to guess who the members would be. Because Marvel Studios have recently upped their game at hiding sensitive information pertaining their projects, it was assumed many trailer shots for the Doctor Strange sequel had been altered. Like Spider-Man No Way Home, some suspected the Multiverse of Madness's promos had edited scenes to hide cameos. But the only element from the trailer that was absent from the movie was ironically the most memorable line. In the teaser, we see the titular character encounter his variant, colloquially referred to as Sinister Strange. As the evil Sorcerer Supreme gleefully smiles, he informs Doctor Strange that things just got out of hand. Even though the two wizards have a tantalizing dialogue and inventive battle in the film, Sinister Strange never utters this iconic line. Number 1. Charging into action in Avengers Infinity War. There were a lot of awesome moments from Avengers Infinity War that only existed in the trailer. In the film, we never see Thanos knocking Iron Man to the ground with a single jab. The Mad Titan never mentions how his gauntlet brings a smile to his face, and to ensure no one could figure out the narrative structure, we never see Thanos harboring more than 2 Infinity Stones. But the one trailer moment that everyone remembers despite not appearing in the film is the final shot. Just before the title is revealed, we see Hulk alongside his allies charging towards Thanos' Legion. But since Bruce Banner is unable to transform into his rage-fueled counterpart after the opening scene, everyone assumed this was a glamour shot cobbled together solely for marketability purposes. But this scene was meant to appear. While battling Thanos' underling in the showdown, Bruce was meant to work out his differences with the Jade Giant, allowing him to transform into Smart Hulk for the first time. However, the directors wanted Infinity War to end with the heroes utterly defeated, and so thought it would be best if Bruce was still wrestling with his alter ego during the climax. And that concludes our list. If you can think of any that we missed, then do let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe and tap that notification bell. Also, head over to Twitter and follow us there, and I can be found across various social medias just by searching Ellie Littlechild. I've been Ellie with Whatculture. I hope you have a magical day, and I'll see you real soon.